If you're settling the estate of a loved one, there's a checklist of items that you're going to need to start out. And I want you to know this list may look a little bit intimidating at first, but just put one foot in front of the other as you go through this process. A lot of the probate process is actually really pretty straightforward. And when you have guidance of legal counsel and other professionals, they will let you know where you are in the process and what to expect coming up next around the corner. This video is designed to give you a big picture idea of what you can expect, what documents you'll need so that things can go smoothly for you. So to start, you'll want to assemble any important legal documents. If your loved one left a will, you'll want to locate that and make additional copies. You'll need a copy for yourself. You'll probably need additional copies for other heirs and beneficiaries, and you'll need a copy for the court, and you'll need a copy for your attorney. You'll need to order certified copies of the death certificate. It's usually a good idea to have 10 certified copies on hand. The court will require it, as well as your attorney, as well as the title company county records. You'll want to find any other important documents and paperwork, like any additional deeds, title to car registrations, bank account statements, insurance policies, and things like that. And if you find any other documents that you think are important, like marriage or divorce certificates and a trust, it is a good idea to keep those in a safe place and have copies of them as well. The next thing you'll do, if it's not already done so, is determine who are the people that are involved. Who will be the estate representative? At some point, you'll file to be a personal representative of the estate if you're going through probate, and it's important to determine who that person will be. And then you'll want to determine who any other heirs and beneficiaries are. You'll need their names, their ages, and their addresses. The court will require this information. Next, you'll be determining the assets and the creditors. You'll want to put a list together of any assets. So any real property that is owned, any bank statements or bank accounts, retirement accounts, or insurance policies. And then you'll want to determine how title is held to each of those assets. Was title held in the decedent's name alone? Was it in a trust? Was it jointly held with other parties? And doing this will help you determine if each asset is community or separate property. Next, you'll want to determine the value of each asset, or determine the value of the share that the decedent owned if they co-owned it with somebody else. For example, if they owned a property, say it was a rental property, and they owned half of the property and half of the property was owned by a sibling or a partner, then you'll want to determine the value of that 50% that the decedent owned. And next, you'll want to list out any debts and obligations. For example, if there was a mortgage on a property that the decedent owned. Then you'll determine the process that you need to go through and begin that process. First, you'll start by determining where the decedent lived. Where was their legal residence? And you may need legal help for this, because next you're going to determine the methods to transfer the assets. Some of these possibilities include having to go through the probate courts and through the probate process. Sometimes you can avoid that entirely. If right now at the time of the recording of this video, if you are in the state of California and the estate value is less than $184,500, then there are ways that you may be able to avoid probate entirely. Another way to transfer the assets is to terminate joint tenancies, and another way is through trust administration. And of course, if the estate is able to, you are going to pay any debts that the estate owes. And the final part of the checklist is to prepare to file for the estate taxes. I know when you're starting out in this process, everything can feel very overwhelming, especially when it's a very emotional time that you're going through in your life right now anyway. But I want you to know the probate process, it's really about just putting one step in front of the other, just like I said at the beginning of the video. And if you have a great probate attorney, they will be there to guide you and let you know what is expected of you, what the courts will require, and they'll let you know ahead of time so you know how to prepare. If you need a probate attorney and you're in the Sacramento area, please reach out to us. I would love to introduce you to one of our probate attorney partners who can really help you through this process. And if you have any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.